The concept of being non reactive to abusers in your life that I've put out there in the world has gone pretty viral, with a lot of creators taking this and making it their own and or using that same mind frame of how to deal with abusers, reactive abusers, narcissistics, any abuser in your life. But today we're going to dive a little deeper because the most powerful revenge isn't watching someone fall. It's becoming so psychologically immune that their very presence in your life doesn't even register on your emotional radar. Like it's not something that you're even having to manage or reset your nervous system regulation, use those tools even. It's just so far beyond you. You've detached so far at a fundamental level that they're like this speck that just went by on the screen. It's just a floating thought and then it's boom, gone. That I introduced to the world was through my own personal experience through abuse and a lot of betrayals in my life. So today we're moving past surface level advice on like block them or or like no more of just forgive them or like we're moving past even just being non reactionary to these people. We're moving past to a much deeper layer where they just don't affect you. Also, it's not just that you're not giving them the reaction that they're looking for, but we're going somewhere much deeper. It's a state of full radical detachment and what I call cellular resilience. By the end of this video, you'll understand how to reclaim your sovereignty in full and neutralize every single trigger that someone tries to pull on you to a point where it's just like it doesn't even it's not even coming off in your register, okay? Like you might see it, you might see what they're doing, but you're not getting emotionally pulled into it where you consciously have to like be non-reactive. It's just a second thought. You can tell I'm real passionate about this topic because this is some life experience learning that I have come to this point, and now this is something that I want to put out and have everybody else kind of share this level of understanding and healing within themselves. And this is kind of what nobody tells you. Toxic people they don't just steal your time. They also drain your light and slowly and consistently. And until you're like the shadow of who you used to be, they enjoy that. I hope you know that. It's like a sport, a hobby for them, if you will, to have that level of power and authority over your life. And here's the painful truth, okay? If you're waiting on karma to hit them, if you're waiting on them to get your lick back or let the universe get their lick back, um, universe to even like give karma on from your end to this person, that level of waiting for something to happen in somebody else's life is what's keeping you tethered to that person and that person's energy and that person's life. You're not free. You're putting on this illusion in your mind that you've moved past and you're living carefree and you're not affected by it anymore, but you're not free. You're still orbiting around them. You're probably still checking their Instagram. You're probably still hoping something bad happens to them so you can have an exhale finally. And that, my friends, is not healing. That's that's a leash with just a longer chain. So this concept of psychological immunity, you being immune to these triggers, you being immune to their attacks, you being immune to what they're saying to you, that's different. It doesn't just protect your peace, it quite literally makes you unreachable. It quite literally puts you on a completely different wavelength of energy, thinking, brain. Like they just can't touch you. It makes you unreachable. No external force, no provo Can't say the word. No manipulation, no amount of something that someone's going to try and put at you, projection, limiting beliefs, anything can disrupt what you're about to build. Let's dive a little into this like mirage illusion of what karma satisfaction will kind of feel like, okay? Let's talk about the trap that most people never really admit that they're in. Okay, you've been wronged, you've been betrayed, someone treated you real bad, they lied to you, they hurt you, they humiliated you, and now a part of your brain is just constantly waiting for something bad to happen to them, waiting for the universe to balance the scale, just waiting for some external force, for some karma to hit them. But what this actually tells us, the weight is not a neutral ground that you're walking on. The weight, every day that you spend anticipating someone else's downfall, your nervous system has a program that is running subconsciously in your brain, scanning, alert, emotionally fully invested in an outcome that you cannot control. That is not righteous patience. That's not walking on neutral ground. That's not walking in letting go and being free of a person and their abuse and whatever else they're putting on you. That's chronic stress with some level of spiritual label on it that, hey, karma's gonna get ya. And trust me, it gets worse. The obsession that comes with someone else's downfall, it's not draining them, sorry. It's draining you. Your vitality, but your vital energy is being drained by focusing so much on someone else's downfall. You're quite literally synchronizing your timeline, your future with theirs. Even though it might feel like you're kind of on parallel lines, like at some point, as you're waiting for their downfall, you want to witness their downfall, you're asking for your paths to like merge again in some way. Just really think about that. Like you're living your life, apparently all free, but your emotional calendar is still running on someone else's schedule. You're waiting for their next mistake, their next failure, their next bad day, their next bad thing to happen to them. When you're in this constant waiting, you've given them something priceless without even realizing it. You've given them a space into your future. You've given them a space in your mind. You've given them, like, hey, come live rent free in my mind, please. And the irony in all of this, like, even if karma does finally get to this person, and even if something genuinely really bad happens to this person, the research also just on revenge and like satisfaction that shows that that relief is like minutes, not weeks of the peace of mind that you lost, or months or years that some people wait. Minutes worth of relief that you'll get. And then that whole emptiness from internal comes back because you'll realize that wound was never really truly about this specific person and their downfall at all. So here's the pivot. The frustration that you feel about an external justice happening, the frustration is actually an inner knowing of your soul pointing you that this is the wrong direction. True freedom, true peace of mind was never going to come from something outside of yourself. It was never going to be delivered by the universe punishing someone on your behalf, which, if you actually truly let go, fully detach, the outcomes are a lot worse than you could have ever even conjured up on your own or thought that the universe could have done. But like you just won't get that level of satisfaction because you fully detach. So you really just don't care what happens to that person after. It was never going to be like through the universe. It was always and only ever going to come from inside of you, the internal peace. That moment you stop outsourcing your peace to the universe of like, hey, once you do this, once you screw up this person's life, then my life will be on track and I will feel better again. Does not, you've put your life on pause. You have wasted months or years or weeks putting your life on pause, waiting for someone else's downfall. And you need to start engineering that detachment internally. That's the moment the other person fully, truly actually loses all of their power over you and having control over you, not because something has happened to them, because something has happened to you. And that internal takeaway, that internal, like, little shift that you make inside, that can't ever be taken away. But the external one, for sure, can be taken away. Starting to define some terms now so that we're all on the same page, okay? Psychological immunity, it's not what like most people are going to say that it is, okay? It's not about being strong. It's not about being tough. It's not about suppressing your emotions. And it is definitely not pretending that you don't feel anything at all. Those are just masks. Those masks are exhausting to maintain. They are hard to maintain. And they will crack after some time if it is one of those masks. Psychological immunity is something much quieter, much deeper, and it's the ability to remain fundamentally at the base, solid foundation of yourself, unaffected by somebody else and somebody's actions or somebody's words or their toxic behavior towards you. To observe a toxic person's behavior the way you would observe weather, the way you would go outside and watch a cloud, noting it, watching it, seeing it, maybe even being amused by it, but not absorbing it. Now, I want you to think of your mind as like prime real estate, prime, top of the top, your dream house, wherever that is. Every square foot of this brain and real estate has value. Every hour you spend replaying an argument, rehearsing what you should have said, wondering what they're doing right now, that's cognitive real estate you've handed over for free. Here, I don't value my property. Have this for free. Please take it, to someone who doesn't deserve even a studio apartment in your head, let alone giving them the keys to your penthouse floor. Okay? Reclaiming that real estate is the first act of building your internal fortress. Not by forcing them out through anger, that still requires engagement and yeah, requires engagement with the person. But by gradually, deliberately filling that space with things that are yours, your goals, your joy, your actual life, paying attention to what you want in life rather than somebody else's downfall. And that foundation of the fortress is called awareness. This is step one to every change in life ever in any arena, sorry, ever is awareness. The walls are built from the specific tools we're about to cover and the tools that don't just muffle the alarm when a toxic person triggers you. It's not just an alarm bell that goes off, but an actual rewire the alarm itself so it just stops going off entirely. Like it's not something that you truly register and that your system, your nervous system needs to be like, this is a threat. You can assess a threat without having your nervous system bells go off. Like my viral TikTok videos of showing abusers no reaction to whatever they're throwing at you, The hardest truth and the most liberating one that you can accept is that you cannot change a toxic person's behavior. You've tried it before and it doesn't work, but the thing that you can change is your reaction to what is causing you to be triggered. You can change your reaction to the trigger, to the spike, the way your chest tightens when they walk in a room. That's in your jurisdiction. That how you feel, your physiological responses, those are things you can control to a degree. But that's the only jurisdiction that matters. Like it's you can't change the other person and how they're going to behave and all of that. This is where like things start differing from my TikTok videos that have gone viral about staying detached and like not giving them any reaction. This is how things get a little deeper and a deeper layer of healing, I guess. It's called radical detachment and what it actually means. And I want to separate it from what people often confuse it with. It's not indifference and it's not shutting your emotions off to be cold towards someone. And it's not pretending that you're a robot because we're human and we have human emotions. Radical detachment is a trained skill that you have to train yourself at. It's the ability to witness chaos around you without being consumed by the chaos, without becoming the chaos, and without like fully getting engulfed in the chaos. To see manipulation that is happening right in front of your face without being moved by it. In a world that is more polarized, more reactive, more algorithmically designed to trigger you and trigger an emotion, this is not a nice to have skill. This is a survival skill. And when I say survival, I mean that literally. Literally. Chronic exposure to emotional triggers elevates your cortisol. Sustained cortisol elevation accelerates cellular aging, suppresses immune function, and has been linked to so many autoimmune diseases for women, especially to inflammation at a DNA level. This isn't a metaphor. The stress a toxic person generates in your body on a constant basis is measurable. It shortens your life. Deactivating those triggers is not just an emotional level of self care um, or just, yeah, some level of self love, self care, like mumbo jumbo that you're throwing out there. It is physical self preservation if you want a long, healthy life. So, how do you protect? How do you protect this? Your attention is not free. I want you to hear that. Your attention is one of the most valuable resources you possess. Yes, rewind and hear that again. And a toxic person knows this intuitively. Even if they can't like articulate it, even if they don't like consciously put this into lingo and into words, every dramatic scene, every passive aggressive comment, every trigger that they're sending your way, these are not random. They are withdrawal attempts. They are reaching into your account and taking what isn't theirs. Think about how you feel after having an argument with like someone in your life that you deem to be toxic right now. Even if you won, you feel depleted, boggy even. Your body feels a little heavy. You're kind of sitting in this weird limbo stage of like, okay, yeah, I won that argument, but like your body's just like coursing through with cortisol. That's because conflict, even if you're right, is energetically expensive. Now contrast that to with what it feels like when you've genuinely stopped caring or stopped caring what they do. There's a lightness, there's a clarity, even a frequency that simply doesn't have room for their chaos anymore, like a full energetic detachment to their tetherment. This is a high vibrational state that we're aiming for. Not because it sounds spiritually cool, because it sounds nice, because it is measurably better for your cognition, how well you think, brain fog, your creativity, your daily output. You're not being consumed by somebody else and giving them your energy for free. And this is where we have to be honest, honest about egos that win. It feels good in the moment to maybe clap back at that person, to have the last word, make it known that you know what they're doing, to send the perfect reply that makes them look small. Um, but that satisfaction, again, is temporary, but you've also cost your peace every single time doing this to some sort of degree while giving them your energy still for free. We're building something that lasts longer than a moment. We're building a lifestyle of resilience, nervous system resilience, and one where their behavior simply cannot reach you. Not because you're suppressing it, not because you're trying to have them feel like you don't care, but because you've genuinely outgrown the frequency that it operates on and you're just kind of above it. Once you master the art and skill of detachment of that, then the next phase is living within the unshakable, unreachable light that you've just gained for yourself. You've gained real valuable real estate for yourself. You've given yourself validation internally that you are worth more, that you and your energy are worth more, you and your brain power are worth more. The final destination that we're going to like take this into is what I call energetic invisibility. So this isn't where you disappear for somebody's life. You're just becoming unreachable. When someone who thrives on chaos, a reaction, encounters a person who generates no reaction, they have absolutely nothing to go off of. They get bored and they go start kicking rocks somewhere else with somebody else. You're not a target. You're not even interesting. You've become to them like they're trying to start a fire without oxygen. There's just nothing to ignite. And right now, you might feel like circumstances are happening to you, like this person, this situation, this pain arrived in your life and you had no say in it. And maybe that's true for how it got kind of started, how it was like brought into your life, but you have complete sovereignty over how you react, how you act, and what happens next. You're not a victim to their behavior. You are the architect of your response to it because the only thing you can control is your response to it. And the most powerful thing an architect can do is decide what gets built and what gets left outside the walls, which would be their BS and their chaos outside of your peaceful, lovely, energetic bubble. So here is your choice. You can keep waiting for karma, keep refreshing their page, keep hoping that the universe somehow catches up with them, or you can choose something that is already within your reach right now, something that doesn't even require their failure to fully activate and to skyrocket you into your success. Permanent self mastery, untouchable inner peace, a version of you that they simply cannot get anymore, a version of you that is all yours right now to make without this person's or these people's influence. If you enjoyed this video, please comment, like, share, and subscribe. I love making videos like this, traditional Chinese medicine, life lessons, so much more. But that's all I have to yap for today. Um, until next time. Bye.